Chag Sameach. We are here about to celebrate at this time of year the Feast of Hanukkah, Feast of Lights, Feast of Dedication. Bonnie, what does Hanukkah mean?
Well, Hanukkah in Hebrew is Hanukkah, and it means dedication, Feast of Dedication.
And we see in the New Testament even that Yeshua, Jesus, celebrated this feast. It says in John 10 that he came at the time of the Feast of Dedication, dedication being Hanukkah. So we know that 200 years after this event originated, Jesus was celebrating this feast. So what is the history of Hanukkah? Well, in 175 BC, a man by the name of Antiochus IV Epiphanes, the Seleucid king of Syria, came and invaded Israel and Judea particularly, and began to make a lot of changes. He wanted to do away with Judaism. He wanted to do away with the traditions of the Jewish people. And so Judaism was outlawed, and Antiochus ordered an altar of Zeus to be erected in the temple. He banned circumcision. He ordered pigs to be sacrificed on the altar at the temple. And his actions provoked a large-scale revolt. And a Jewish priest and his 5 sons led a rebellion against Antiochus. This priest eventually died, and Judah, his son, took over and became known as Yehuda Maccabee, Judah the Hammer. And so this man led the revolt. He liberated the temple. He rededicated the temple. The Feast of Hanukkah was instituted to celebrate the event. So when Judah ordered the temple to be cleansed, he ordered a new altar to be built in its place to replace the polluted one, new holy vessels to be made. And according to the Talmud, olive oil was needed for the menorah in the temple per the descriptions that Moses gave, which was required to burn throughout the night every night. So the story goes that there was only enough oil to burn for 1 day, yet it burned for 8 days, the time needed to prepare a fresh supply of oil for the menorah. So an 8-day festival was declared by the Jewish sages to commemorate this miracle. It's a very thrilling time in the life of Jewish people, isn't it, to celebrate Hanukkah and remembering this historic event.
It really is. You know, it's interesting to note that, and a lot of people ask us this question. I wasn't sure myself until we had lived in Israel and began to understand the culture a little bit, but there are 2 kinds of menorahs. There is a traditional 7-branch menorah, which was prescribed by Moses in the Old Testament, and that is a symbol of the Jewish state today. But after the time of Hanukkah, the 9-branch, like this, menorah came into being. And the reason is that the 8 branches stand for the 8 days that the miracle happened, that the oil began to continue to burn. And the 9th candle is used to light the other candles traditionally. And you light 1 and the first night of Hanukkah, and then 2. You start from the right side always. And this is called the shamash candle. It means servant, and that certainly is a picture of Yeshua as he came to man, became a sacrifice, and became the light that shone in darkness.
I think it's interesting that in Jewish tradition, there were 2 houses of thought in the early days of after Yeshua, and one was the house of Hillel, and they said that that this candelabra, the Hanukkah, needed to be the first night 1 candle, the second night 2 candles, third night. But there was another house that said you needed to do 8 candles, 7 candles, 6 candles, and these sages went back and forth, and eventually the house of Hillel won out, and this tradition remains till today.
And you know, as believers, there's a scripture that says the light of righteousness grows brighter and brighter until the full day. And we see this in lighting the candles as they grow brighter and brighter until the full day.
In the early days of planting the MJBI in Odessa, we wanted a practical way to celebrate Hanukkah with the students. And communism had stripped them of their bias against Yeshua. And so there was a real openness to the good news, openness to the gospel. And throughout history, Bonnie, the Jewish people have had to improvise in making the Hanukkah, haven't they?
Yes, Jewish people have found themselves in captivity throughout the centuries, and it doesn't matter if they're in captivity or not, they always fashion candlesticks for the Shabbat or Hanukkah for Hanukkah, and you will find in museums, Holocaust museums and Jewish museums around the world, a lot of these artifacts of things that they have fashioned from things, organic material, anything that they could find to light a candle. So we found ourselves in 1996 in Odessa, Ukraine, and we were actually Mayaki, Ukraine, which means lighthouse in Russian. And we were there without, it was Hanukkah time, and we were there without our Hanukkah. So we challenged our students to find materials outside or wherever they could and to make their own Hanukkahs.
So our first accepted student into the MJBI, who now leads a Messianic congregation in Khmelnytsky, Ukraine, Roman Sviontek is his name, he fashioned this Hanukkah very creatively. So why don't you tell them about this?
Yes, it's just so special because it's made out of wood, and he carved these places for the candles. And right here is a little shofar that he carved, and here is the letter Shin, the letter Hebrew letter standing for God. And so we've treasured this through the years.
And tell them what is this one here for?
And this is the
shamash.
Shamash, yes. This is the candle that lights the other candles. And anyway, so this means a lot to us. It was our first Hanukkah from the first MJBI in 1996.
So we want to send you greetings. We want to send you holiday greetings. We want to send our appreciation to you. And we encourage you this Hanukkah to become more educated, to celebrate this feast and to share the good news with your Jewish friends of Yeshua and the light who has come into the world. We also encourage you to consider giving a gift at this Christmas season, this Hanukkah season, of maybe an SMT course to one of your friends. It's a tremendous way to be educated. It's a tremendous way to learn through our online school of Messianic theology, or to get some Judaica on our website. We encourage you this Hanukkah season to grow in the light of Yeshua and spread that light to others.
We just want to wish you a happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, all the joys of the season, Chag Sameach.
God bless you.